Yeah.
Okay. We're here for our first week report on the 90-Day with Jesus program here at Joining in Light Devotional Center. And we'll be sharing kind of what we learned this week.
Sure. So we explored what joining is all about. And I know for me, it was fraught with tremendous surprises, and one of which, my looking at who Jesus is to me, and I was surprised to doing the deep dive, discovering all these concepts that are that have stayed in my inner closet for so long. And the more I started to look through that old clothes bag of who I think Jesus is, it was astounding. I had to take those clothes out of the bag and look at them one by one. And I was taken aback. They were old concepts that were actually very spooky and limiting. Jesus almost was punitive in terms of my old paradigm. So it was an opportunity to sort of dust away some of the cobwebs of who Jesus is, and that was a process. It also, I'm jumping to the part that was a surprise for me, my concept of why it was, why I might resist following Jesus. And I was struck by how resistant I was to hearing his voice, and my idea that I only have a certain amount of choices when I'm going to ask for his help. It better be something along the crisis line rather than being able to ask him for help for everything. I had an image that had come to me of an amusement park, the book of tickets. And in a lifetime, you're only allotted a certain amount of tickets to actually be able to ask for God's help. And that was an eye-opener. Of course, with the concept of what we've been exploring, there was much more of an opening to how limited I see. I see the opportunity for God in my life, for Jesus. I'm done for now.
Yeah, it was a week of looking at, like Kathleen said, what the ideas around Jesus and joining look like, and really grasping or what it means to be in relationship, to deepen that relationship, and this idea of hearing him 24/7. And what does that look like? And I just had that, the thought came into us when we were looking is, look at his frequency, connect with that frequency, which is so overwhelming and extraordinary. It's easy to, if I pay much attention in that way, to literally or proverbially just fall to my knees and overwhelming recognition of what the light actually is, and just trusting that. And however Jesus presents in awareness, to trust that, there's an idea in the mind that it has to be this voice with words, and that's wonderful. And I want it all in that way, every way that I could possibly sense his presence and his guidance, and to remember that I do have a recognition of what he is, this extraordinary, radiant beingness, and to go with that, not try to force something that hasn't necessarily manifested, or at least manifested consistently in the sense of hearing words all the time. And this idea, much more than idea, really, of relishing that when there's anything that's less than that radiance, than that knowingness, than the recognition of what we really are, that is us, not just Jesus, this light. Sort of lost my train of thought, but just to know that whenever that is, when it's the experience is not that, to go into recognizing that I'm relishing the not that experience, that not radiant experience, and that can bypass all the suffering, or we talk about the dark night of the soul, or that we have to go in, into the darkness to get through it. And that he's saying very clearly, no, you actually don't have to do that. You can come right to what you really are, and what he represents so powerfully in our awareness. And so I'm just getting used to swimming in the light, and strengthening that recognition and deepening the relationship that feels very personal. And yeah, that's it for me.
There was also this incredible opening to the idea of trust. Laura and I have been joining since October of 2020, and just being able to join together. We had been doing it on Zoom meetings, but to be together, joining, and having this opportunity to spend so much time in this process, and how to watch how glorious the deepening can go. There was also this sense of there was an intimacy as we would go down with Jesus and then share, that I have to say was so heightened, and also so intimate in a way that just opened my heart. The doors just flew open about the possibility of this process. So it's highly recommended.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Blessings.